Hello everyone, in this video we're gonna make our player win the level and continue to our next level. Stay tuned. First we go to the hierarchy and create cube. We make the cube on the ground, level it, changing the position, and after leveling it with the ground we change the scale to 10. Make it center on the ground, changing the scale of the Y so it's a little bit almost like a gate, and we push it back to the far end of our ground. If you have to make the ground a little bit taller if you want, so the player won't fall when you pass the gate. And then we check out the mesh renderer so it doesn't show for the player, and we check our trigger and we change the color so we can find it when the mesh renderer is off. And then we will rename it to end level. After that we will add a script, so we will say end trigger, open the script, delete the two functions inside, and we will make a function called void on trigger enter. And this function will work when the player passes this trigger or the box collider as triggered. And up we will make a game manager and we will name it as GM, and then we can access all the function, and then we can access the function inside our game manager. And for that we will make a function called public void level complete, and inside our function we will make debug.log so we can check if our function work or not. And inside the debug we will write one level. You can write whatever you want, and we're gonna add the function to our end trigger script, then close it with a semicolon, save it, go back to Unity, and we have to drag and drop our game manager to our end level script, and then you can test the game out. You can check the console and it showed one level. As you can see, game over went right behind it because the ground is not tall enough. And then we're going to create a panel inside our canvas, and we're changing to 2D so we can see this panel, and the panel is responsive. If you change the resolution or the screen resolution, it will change with it. Then we're going to go to the source image. We're going to make the background as none, so we don't need an image, we only need the color, and we bump up the alpha, and we will rename the panel to level complete. And then inside our level complete we will add text. We will name it level and bump up the font size, and the style would be bold so it would show for the player. And then we can press Alt and click so we can resize from the four corners of the text. Then we will make it in the center. After that we will rename the text to level so it will be more organized, and then duplicate it by pressing Ctrl D, and we will rename the other one complete. So copy that from the name and paste it up there, changing the tool so we can centralize it or adjust it to whatever you like. And we will rename our score text to score so we can differentiate between them. So going back to our game manager script, we will make a new game object, set it as public game object, and we will name it complete level or complete UI as you want. And then we will change the debug, delete or remove the debug, and we will change it to complete UI dot set active true. Set active is meaning if the game object is deactivated, and you can activate it on the script or through the script. And if we go back to Unity and add the level UI to our game manager script and press play. And if you can see right now, it's showing on the spot. And right now we will make a little bit of animation, so we have to enable our level complete, and we'll check our animation not animator by clicking on level complete and click create. You can create a new folder for animation and name the animation level complete, so it will be more organized. And right here we have our timeline. This is where all the animation will be. Here in our project we can see we have animation and the controller, so we have to choose the animation and disable loop time or uncheck it. And after that we're gonna hit record in this red button, and we will fast forward to 1 second, and we go to our level complete and pump down the alpha. That would create a keyframe, so we're gonna have to choose or sweep our keyframe, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second. For this exactly reason, so it's gonna fade up, not fade down. And we're gonna move forward, and we're gonna do the same for our text. And by hitting anything or changing anything in a game object, that will create a keyframe. Don't forget to subscribe. And you can see on the left corner, if you press on a keyframe, it will highlight the keyframe that you pressed on it. For example, it's called level text color alpha. The A is for alpha, so changing the color, and we'll do the same to our complete. Flip this and drag it to the beginning and drag the beginning to the end. And you can do whatever you like here, it's your call. Make the thing that you feel good with it. And then after that we stop our record and click play so we can see what's happening, and that seems good for me. Then we're gonna go back to our level complete and disable it so we can test this out, the animation that we just made. As you can see, it's working. So we're gonna go back to our animation, and we're just gonna add event. This event will allow us to run a script after all the animation has ended. And you can see there is no function right here because we didn't add a function. And we're gonna add a script to our level complete panel, and we will name it level complete. And inside it we're gonna delete our to function. We're gonna write public void load next level. For us to load our next level, we need to add scene manager. But first we're gonna click on our event and add the new function that we just made. It will be in the very end. After that we can add our scene manager. For that we're gonna write using Unity engine dot scene management. Don't forget the semicolon, and inside our function we will write scene manager dot load scene, and inside it we will write scene manager dot get active scene, and inside this we will just say build index +1. It's because at the levels inside our build index will be next to each other by only just one number different, as we explained in the previous video. So if we're gonna test this out, we have to make a second scene, and we're just gonna duplicate our scene by clicking Ctrl D, and we add it to the build setting just to test this theory. In the next video we'll explain more. So we're gonna go back to our level 2, check it out, just see, go back to our level 1 and press play to test the game. And as you can see, it's moving, working great. And at the very top we can see we change back to our level 2. it shows the game over because the ground is not long enough to contain the player after the animation, and shows error right here because we didn't add the next scene and the script will only play the next scene. That's it for our video. Hope you enjoy. See you in the next one.